Hello, my name is Ruben Cabrera, and today I will be sharing with you what I have learned from watching episode 4, Bulletproof, from Kevin Hart. Don't F-U-C-K this up. Now grab your notebooks and write down these lessons, these notes, this knowledge, this experience from Kevin Hart. If you have a good memory, then don't grab one. But if you don't, if you want to review your notes, get your notebook. Alright, let's get started. So the first thing that I learned is that, let me share with you what he says. The road to becoming the billionaire or the mogul, it's a long road, man. It's a long road. Long F-U-C-K-I-E-G road. And you can't think you got it all together. And like that, something stupid can happen that can take it all away. He's referring to the fight he got with Boss, his physical trainer. If you haven't watched the last episode, he talks about that when you're drunk and when you are angry and you have stuff deep inside you where you're frustrated with yourself or with somebody, where you're going through stuff, and when you're drunk you can release it towards someone. And he eventually released it towards Boss, his close friend, his brother. So he's referring this to that. He says the road to becoming the billionaire or the mogul, it's a long road, man. Long road. And you think you got it all together, and like that, something stupid can happen that can take it all away. He's referring to because they got in a fight inside the plane, and not like physical fighting, but you know, an argument, and it was about to lead to a fight. The cops arrive once they land, and Kevin Hart and Boss potentially could have gone to jail, but they didn't. And that is what he means, that he could have lost everything he had worked for. His position where he is currently in, he could have lost it, and all because he was drunk. So when you're in a position where you're at a high, when you're somewhere where you have a lot to lose, you got to be really careful with what you do. I'm sharing with you what Boss has shared with us. Now, I never gauge success based on money, right? I've always gauged success based on the ability to wake up with the willingness to create and feel like you're working towards a goal. That is the philosophy, the mindset of Boss. Pretty interesting, huh? The mind of successful people. I'm the guy that walks around of shit not being good. Kevin Hart shares with us another quote. He says, I'm the guy that walks around in fear of shit not being good. He gives us the example that he was born broke and he doesn't want to go back to being broke. He remembers the times where he didn't have money to buy shoes or when he was going to eat again. So he says he walks around in fear, and that is what drives him. He remembers the times when he was broke, and that is what allows him to continue moving forward. He also shares with us that he doesn't want to be successful by himself. He says the reason why I choose to be hard on Joey is not just to give Joey shit, it's so he doesn't get comfortable. Now this he is referring to in the scene where Joey is taking the leadership position. He is responsible for a business that they are doing together, and Kevin Hart is kind of being a teacher, a mentor. You know, he's instructing him how to improve himself and the business better, how to manage better. And if you watch the episode, you can see that he is pretty hard on him, but he said he does it so he won't get comfortable, because he says once you get comfortable, there is somebody else that is going to take your spot, and he doesn't want to lose all the hard work they put in. He says to Joey, his friend, his brother, thank You should be thankful I'm your friend, because if this was a real set, I would have stormed the FUCK off. He would have stormed off from the set, which is where Joey is being responsible for. And that is the way he speaks to him. He spoke to him. He's telling him, be thankful that I'm your friend, because if you were somebody else, I would have stormed out. This whole production would be shit because of your attitude. That's how he speaks to Joey. People who invested in me, and in return, I invested back in them. So, he's the type of person, I guess, I believe, that he likes to, be straight, real with people, or be honest at times. Likes to make them feel uncomfortable. He likes to see if they're being serious or not. So, it's kind of a good person. It's good to have somebody around like that, because they keep you on check, they keep you on level, they make sure your mind is straight, that you're on point with things. He also says people who invested in me, he says that his friends invested in him, and in return he invested back. So the people in his circle, they're all a team. They all depend on each other. So if you want to build a team, that's some advice right there. He says, I'm comfortable with the understanding of hard work bringing great rewards. This is a reminder of hard work and dedication that I put into everything I've done. I'm comfortable with the understanding of hard work, that hard work brings great rewards. I'm not content because I know where I came from, and I don't ever want to go back, which is being broke, not being able to buy shoes or food. I am my own competition, and I truly feel like the sky is the limit. We have one life, and our job is to make the most out of it. Look, one day you gotta look back and say, I got the most out of my life. The philosophy he has is, when you're in a position where you don't know what to do, you could look back. You can make yourself seem like you're in the future and tell yourself, look back and say, I got the most out of my life. You want to tell yourself that you did the most out of your life when you look back at an old age. He says, it's not an I thing, it's a we thing. So he's saying that, when he built his movie, he's saying that he accomplished everything not by himself. He did it with his whole team. So if you want to create a movie or create something huge, you got to be willing to work with people. He says, when he made his movie, he says, I never get good reviews, so if you fall into the world of caring, then you lose. You get caught up into that shit that you have no control over. You get caught up into shit that you have no control over. People love to have an opinion. You gotta understand that. Let the talkers talk. I have a bulletproof armor. You can't touch this. Dun, 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 dun. He's saying that if you care about what people tell you, then you're gonna get caught up into things that you have no control over. There's always people that's going to have their opinions. He says the people are what's important, not the critics, his audience. He's saying this message towards his audience. I never performed or done things for the critics or for their approval. It's always been about the audience, and I mean even in stand-up comedy, giving the audience what they want. And relating to the movie he made, he's talking about this because of the movie he made. The critics gave him really bad reviews, and his audience will, if you watch the episode, you will find out that he became really successful. The movie was a hit. I believe it was the best comedy of the year. for that year, which he made the movie, and the audience loved it, and he was successful, and he made a couple of million. So this is what I have learned from watching his episode. As you saw, he shares with us a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom, his philosophy of life, the way he looks at things, a lot of experience. I believe he shares with us all of this because he wants us, the viewers, to learn from him and use whatever we learn, if we apply what he learns, to benefit us. I believe he shares this with us for us to learn from and to apply to our lives, to improve our lifestyles. So I ask you, what did you learn from what I shared with you today? What are you going to apply? And watch the episode. I guarantee you're going to learn more than what I share with you today. And just hear it from the man. Hear it from his tone of voice. Hear it from how he expresses himself. You can watch these episodes on Netflix. And if you're really interested in being successful, what better thing can you do than studying success? Studying the best. You're studying the perfect example of success. Kevin Hart, don't F-U-C-K this up on Netflix. Thank you for watching. All I ask of you is to share the story. In this case, a bunch of stories.